Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 3, day number 4. It is Thursday, January 19, 2017. As always, please seek financial advice when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market. See what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan. And always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, not much there on the pre-market trend as we do each morning. Let's jump right into the daily outlook. Again, overnight session was down, pre-market back up. That's just been the picture this week, guys. I can't explain this market for the last 3 weeks. I don't even try to understand it. All I try to do is look for a setup. Trade management could take me out, but sometimes we just let our runners go, and that's sometimes good enough. But don't even try and sit back and think where we're supposed to be, because we are where we are, and we'll take a look at the charts here in a moment. But levels in both directions, obviously to the upside, to the downside on the NQ, looking at 50, 58 downside, we got 39, 29, etc. And ES to the downside, looking at 81 upside, and downside we had our levels 61, 58, 50 before we actually get to 22.19. All right, so how did market do? Always want to check out the trading session recap here. Go ahead and open up. And it was all about the yen there last night. We'll show you that amazing chart there from yesterday, but pretty active on the yen yesterday following into today's session, but indices mostly quiet. We finally got our first move around the bond market close, which is pretty much late in the day. PM session, you might as well have given it up at that point, but we did have a move, and if you're watching the market all day, that's when we got it. Other than that, couple economic data, jobless claims, and crude. We had a build today. Crude still chopping it out, and overall, we just continue to do the same as overnight, so I'll go ahead and fill that in here a little bit. U.S. session pretty much finishing out. Also, we had a drop and a pop back upside. All right, let's jump into the charts. Taking a look at the daily gap. Yeah, that is frustrating. I can understand that. Again, we're just looking for micro pockets of trend, but I'll tell you, this market is psychotic. It just doesn't know where to go. Tomorrow, Inauguration Day, I'm hoping that that's what we're waiting for, but I don't think everything's just going to turn on a dime. I think we got to wait till next week. We got to wait for the weeks to come. It's just not one picture one day. It's going to take time. So hang in there, Jedi traders. We'll get those small pockets of move like we saw today, but overall, we just continue to consolidate. So not much change on the charts here as we continue to move sideways. Crude holding again inside day from yesterday. Open gap up inside 52.41, 55.41, all the way upside. As you can see, the white lines representing the open gaps. Nearest one on the ES down here, 21.97.25. I'm telling you, at some point we will come down and close those, but we are not ready to do that. Overall, AD lines, again, market internal that I use on the charts here. Price action moving to the downside. Finding that support at the outlier. That's right, that 1904, that is not a number that I changed. That is, and I didn't put that there today, 1904 minus 1904. That is one of the outliers there, and look at that. It held once again and got a lift back upside. Strange price action this morning. We got that lift in the market, as you can see right here, our AD lines, and then all of a sudden we have NYSE coming down. So that was kind of a predecessor of where the overall market eventually led downside, and downside. Finding those outlier numbers for the most part all around NQ, YM, and ES, and getting that lift back upside. All right, let's take a look at the charts as we do each day in the morning. Let's start with, let's roll with the NQ first. Let's go to the 60-minute chart. As we can see, price action overnight session, just pretty much chopping in the middle here. That was today's price action, right up and right back down. So talk about some strange, weird price action. But there it was. Pre-market had a nice little lift. Setup was already prior to the U.S. Open. So if you were on that already, great move. If not, it's kind of catching the wave in the middle, and not a big fan of that. I like the initial breakout, and pretty much left a one to the upside. But there it was. Rejected the overbought. Came all the way back down to find support retest at the major support resistance and back downside. We managed to pretty much almost finish even, but there it was this morning as the day ran out. Let's take a look at the YM price action across the board. Still holding downside, 50 below 144 on the 60-minute chart as we hold at the lows. And 15-minute chart here, overnight session holding at the highs around resistance, finally let go. Found some support here at the major support, relifted, tested, and came back down. And wrapping it up on the ES, let's take a look at the 60-minute and the 15-minute. There we are, also same picture on the ES, holding downside under the 51.44 on an hourly chart here as we found a little bit of bounce support off the oversold support. And there's our overnight session combined with the daily, finding that resistance, pulling downside, hanging around here around the major support resistance. All right, I want to pop up a chart here just to show you what we're looking for each day on the intraday setup so you'll understand, and as we'll roll into what we're looking at ahead. All right, so here's a nice picture of the yen from yesterday. Nice, beautiful golden setup, high probability setup. What do we have? We have the HA bars and trend under the cloud. We got the we have the 534 EMA in sync, and we have the 5144. That's the same right here, even though noted in red here. The 5144 EMA in the blue, 5144 in the red, indicating the same thing, same chart here. So when all in sync, you got yourself a move. Trade management puts you in the setup, and you got yourself a setup to hold on to. Now, we have a variety of different ways to look at it. We could add different studies. We could add a VWAP. We could add T3 moving averages, Tim Tilson's, and we can also use the, as we have been showing here, the MML, the Murray Math Lines, as a way to stay in the trade to any given level. Now, what comes into play, and again, this is posted on Twitter. I posted on my trading website. Let's pull up the page. There it is, high probability setup for trade management. Again, the trade management options is always one in, one out. And again, what part of the trading day are you looking at? Are you looking at the end of the session? Are you in the middle, beginning? And again, different momentum, different parts of the day. But, you know, this afternoon we'll show you on the NQ. Nice setup, but managed not to really go anywhere until the very close. But this is the basic idea. Price action is underneath the cloud, keeping it simple. Price action runs out of HA bars. As long as you keep moving forward in momentum, you keep moving that stop down, you can learn to ride some of these trends. And then once price action breaks a swing size stop or the 534 crosses over, an opportunity to bail on the trade. So I want to go ahead and post those charts up for you. Again, that's what we're looking for on the intraday setups. And so today, let's jump right in. Let's take a look at the indices. Where were those setups today on the charts? All right, let's pull back here a little bit as price action on the NQ this morning. There it was. I was talking about how that NQ already had a setup upside. There it was. It already started the move on the crossover as we just saw on the yen to the downside. We're now looking at the NQ to the upside. So what do we have? We have a 534 crossover. We have a 51.44, the second bar down here. All right. And we got to break out above the VWAP here, if you're watching that. But regardless, we're looking at the cloud. Breakout nice, right? Early session. And U.S. Open breaks the Globex high. And you got yourself a nice move up. Now, if you decide to move, stay in that, you might have been stopped out on the price action pulling back. But for the most part, like we saw in the AD line, NQ started up and then right back down. Where is it? And what is this market doing? All right, it's doing what it does, guys. So price action comes back down. You got yourself a setup to the downside right here. Down to the support level, price action breaks up. You got a little bit of an opportunity upside. You might have just held off. Major support resistance, Globex high, and then price action eventually. Really nice setup in the trading room here today to the downside, giving everybody an opportunity to get some ticks as price action momentum moved to the south. Now, this is what I was talking about here on the NQ, which was a little frustrating here in the afternoon session. So here you go. You got price action, and it has a little bit of lift, right? You got a 534. Better entry right here because what? All three charts in sync, but that doesn't mean you can't go for it. So you got to set up here, break action above the cloud, 534 in sync. Where does it go? 2 bars against you. Now, if you decided to simply keep your stop back here, you'd be okay, right? Well, I never really want to let trade action come all the way down. And with the way the market's been lately, you're just like, all right, you know what? Indecision bar or indecision solid body tail down. You say, I'm just going to bail, and you wait for a next setup. All right, there it is, the breakout. Price action lifts up. Doesn't look good. Maybe a bail here. But either way, finally, price action up to the VWAP, and we're pretty much closed out at today's open. So afternoon session, been a real weird day. We got the last 20 minutes here. You might just say, hey, forget that. But valid setup at the end. There it is, set up. Keep the stop at the break at the swing size low. But again, you might just decide to bail on the second bar there. All right, YM, any better today as price action on the YM? Yeah, we had a couple setups here to the downside for the most part. Here we could see price action finally broke through on the 534. And eventually we got all charts in sync. Really, at afternoon setup, there it was all the way down to support level. Price action back upside. Again, you might have just said, forget that, hold off. And eventually YM there on some of the post data coming out. I believe IBM reported today. So price action pulling back towards the close as we head into Globex session here in a bit. All right, ES again moved to the downside. Again, it was that PM session setup. Again, pockets of trend. You weren't really looking to go any higher here. That was pre-market, and then moved to the downside. Again, there was that weird action in the afternoon towards the close. So really, I got to say, there was really one solid setup, and that was it right there on all 3 charts. All right, taking a look at crude. Crude, not much to talk about. Very choppy, even with the data out. So I would have left crude alone. Really gold upside here with a nice little move here on the PM session pocket, and a couple of opportunities here we could see in the afternoon session as price action. There it is, the cloud downside. Again, you're not maybe, again, this is like the NQ that we saw here. You got an entry here, right? Price action coming down off resistance, 534 in sync, and this one runs. It's a nice move, and it works out. Hey, you might have been stopped out. If stop was at break even. You have another opportunity. Works out a little bit better as all charts are in sync, but a little bit choppy. Don't like this price action, and maybe your stop's taken out, and eventually you're like, you just give up on these moves. So go a little bit rough today, both sides, but holds up at the high. Yen again has been really the story of the market. Again, you can see a lot of chop here. So in my 2 cents, we still have some of that writing from the chart yesterday, but here it is, 15 tick chart. Much smoother on the 15 tick as we saw price action holding here to the downside underneath the cloud. Really the trend of the day. Another opportunity, and then right back upside with the 534 and 54 in sync. All right, 6E, let's wrap it up here as we'll take a look at where we might be headed tomorrow. There's the 6E today. Again, pretty choppy. I would have gone to the higher time frame. Here's a 10-7. I might go to a 15 tick at this point. This opens things up, cuts out a lot of that noise. So there it is. Price action, nice move right here off the VWAP, 51.44. 534 in sync, 51.44 downside. So really nice move here in the AM session. Again, small pockets of trend back downside, didn't last long. Price action back upside above the cloud. I would have held off. Price action pullback and then bang to the upside. So nice rollout for the end of the day on the 6E. All right, where are we headed tomorrow? Let's take a look at the NQ. Really nothing's changed here, guys. 50.78 still holds upside. 39 downside. If we head below 39, look to 29.19 and finally 5K. And then overbought upside. 78.97 upside, and anything up above that we'll watch as the market rolls tomorrow. Taking a look at the ES daily setup, price action no change. 81.25, 22.50 downside with the 50 MA here. And then again, we're still in this range. We really haven't moved. Our numbers haven't changed day to day. We got 73 upside and 22.50, but right now 57 seems to be the line in the sand. All right, take a look at the YM price action. Again, 50 MA down here is we pretty much just about tapped that today. Stall weak reversal here holding up at 19,688. Bigger picture, we got the bigger green. Let's open up the range chart here to see what I'm talking about. So again, the bigger picture up here is we got that major resistance. We know 20K is sitting up there. But meanwhile, we got this pocket of in-between resistance and support. We haven't broken that. Watching the 51.44, I'm going to look down here to 19,609. I'm looking to the top of the 51.44. Eventually, we'll get a new reset on the MMLs on the range chart. So, we look all the way down, possibly at some point, 18,750, what might be the key line if we break the 50 MA. But we'll wait until that comes. So until then, we watch the 15-minute chart. That's right, the 15-minute chart. That's why all these time frames are important. 16-minute, 15-minute. We did find that support here. So far, so good. If we do break that on the YM, we'll have a reset of those levels. We'll call those out in the morning and then watch those intraday. All right, taking a look at the economy day here as we roll into tomorrow. Again, it was a pretty heavy Thursday. Light Friday here, not much econ data. Recon in the afternoon. Inauguration day will pretty much be all on the news. And I don't know. Can't tell you what's going to happen. I only tell you got to be ready in both directions. All right, guys, that concludes an insight into the daily trend and technical momentum of the indices and key futures markets. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. The mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. That's right. There it is. Oop, not trade management. That's not what I want to show you. It's one simple strategy. There it is. Holding down underneath the cloud, Heikin-Ashi bars. Yeah, we all look for that every day. We don't know which one it's going to be yet. We got to recognize chop sometimes, and sometimes there's no 100% guarantee. There's no holy grail. You're going to have to take your losses here and there. All right. You can find me every day on Twitter at Trading Fibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. Only watch what's in front of me on my charts. And as always, leave your crystal ball at the door and your bias as well, because you have no idea where the charts might be leaning. Hey, guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.